Hello, everyone, and welcome to issue number 92 of Anti-Life Reviews. I am, of course, the Sotomakaya Master of Minds and of Men. And we are in the very thick of the first volume of Uncanny X-Force. Today we're going to be looking at issues 11 through 18, which ran from June to December in 2011. It was published by former comic company, now Movie Factory, Marvel Comics. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the Dark Angel Saga. Who are the writers and artists on this? Of course, writer on this is Rick Remender, who wrote the entire series. He worked for Dark Horse, DC, Dynamite, Marvel, Image. Rick has worked for all these places to varying levels of success, mostly in the positive. He now has his own imprint at Image, and a production company where he continues to put out interesting creator-owned work, and has had movies and TV shows based on his work put out, so good for him. Artist on this, 11 through 13, is Mark Brooks, sort of fill-in guy here, who has worked on a few issues of a lot of different things. Got some fame with his run on Han Solo's comic in 2016. Assisting Mark on 13 is Scott Eaton. He worked in the last two issues of Soldier X, the worst ones, so I can't forgive him for that. On issues 14 through 18, Jerome Opina. Good to see Jerome back. A talented, if not a little slow guy who has worked on big characters like Deadpool, Wolverine, and Moon Knight. And assisting on 18, Esad Ribic. Honestly, after last week, I'm glad he's just assisting. Disappointed in him still. Issues 11 through 18 are collectively known as the Dark Angel Saga, as I mentioned before. The team consists of Wolverine, Phantom X, Deadpool, Psylocke, and Archangel. Where we last left off, well, Archangel is turning into the new Apocalypse, so the team needs to head to the alternate reality Age of Apocalypse because the beast from that reality has a life seed that can change Angel back and a death seed that could kill him. They head off into the AOA, that's Age of Apocalypse, with an arbitrary time limit. And of course, it's a festering, violent Holocaust shithole and everyone hates it. They quickly find Beast's lab, and they begin to learn how allegiances were different, but Deadpool flat out does not care. They gather the life seed, but it's taken by Nightcrawler, and they tussle with people from the AOA, such as Sabretooth and Sunfire. Sunfire destroys the life seed before Dark Beast makes his obvious betrayal and leaves them behind. They figure out they are all good guys and head to Atlantis, which is the AOA team's headquarters, where they meet their leaders, a wheelchair-bound Magneto, and Jean Grey, who is just as shocked to see Wolverine as she is to see him. Moving on to some exposition and sexual tension come in spades when Logan and Jean talk, they kiss, and they are attacked by a samurai sentinel, which is quickly put down. They assemble both teams, and they have a plan. One team heads to the Celestial Garden to get 2 life seeds, one for Warren, and one to kill the new Apocalypse host here in the Age of Apocalypse. The other team go to an Aqaba prison to get Gateway out, who can teleport interdimensionally. Phantom X and Betsy argue. He says he killed Apocalypse when it was needed, but she refuses to kill Warren when needed. It devolves into a fight, and of course they kiss. The teams head off, and we see the prison team being attacked by the Black Legion, as well as the new Apocalypse of this world, who is Logan Weapon X. Phantom X team heads off to the Celestial Garden to face down some Celestials. Gambit sacrifices himself, and they retrieve one of the life seeds. Elsewhere, an all-out brawl ensues against Weapon X, and we learn this Weapon X had to ascend to become the new Apocalypse, or the Celestials would destroy Earth. They demand a balance. Weapon X and the Black Legion have the upper hand, with Weapon X seemingly killing all of them. But thankfully, it was a Phantom X mirage. Jean tells Wolverine to take the life seed and go, that they can save their world. Hers is pretty much screwed. The X-Team begrudgingly leave and are greeted by Archangel, Dark Beast, and the Final Horseman. In a flashback, we see Archangel is far more compassionate ruler than Apocalypse, and we meet Apocalypse's son, Genocide. In the present, the X-Team attack the bad guys, but are made quite a bit of fool of, with Wolverine being half killed by Genocide, and only Betsy and Phantom X really putting up a fight, with Betsy even wounding Archangel. But thankfully the team managed to escape by the skin of their teeth, but Betsy stays behind, hoping to help Warren, who now has the life seed, and Phantom X's world. Archangel takes her to Clan Aqaba's city, and explains that the House of M was what made him necessary, that he will make mutants the superior force on the Earth they are supposed to be. Archangel and Genocide go to a small town. Genocide uses all of his nuclear energy inside of him to destroy an irradiate countless miles. So what are the bad guys doing? Well, using the world, the life seed, and the irradiated plot of land they just made, they grow a new civilization that evolves billions of years and days. This is the garden the new apocalypse will tend to. The X-Team attempt to attack, but Archangel leaves, though they do kill Death and capture Famine. Archangel goes to the dreaming Celestial, who gives him a death seed so that he might choose a successor, which is implied to be Betsy. Archangel prepares for the final steps, doing to the entire world, the entire planet, not the world, the Weapon Plus program thing, what he did to the small town. He's going to use the life seed, the full power of the world, and amplifying the powers of genocide until his death to remake it all, killing the boy and using him up. His mother protests, but Archangel strikes him down. He then prepares Betsy for ascension against her will as he stabs her with the death seed. The X-Team infiltrate the world as Famine escapes Eva, trying to kill the ship and Wolverine, only for Wolverine to manage to cut off his arms. The team then has to face the remaining Horsemen and villains Dark Beast brought over from the Age of Apocalypse like Iceman and the Blob. Deathlock is corrupted, the team is beaten down, Genocide prepares himself, and Phantom X flees in Eva. The X-Team thankfully gets some backup from Phantom X, who didn't just flee, he went to get the good guys in the Age of Apocalypse. And Nightcrawler managed to take Genocide out temporarily. Betsy has turned to Archangel's side, and everyone struggles to take the new Apocalypse down. Jean Grey manages to get inside Betsy's head and turn off the evil side of her, how convenient. As everyone but Betsy and Phantom X are taken down, and Warren enters the world to install the seed himself, since no one else can do it. Phantom X and Betsy fight Archangel, to little avail. So Phantom X pulls his trump card, awakening the child Apocalypse by the name of Evan from his virtual reality world, and he's given a celestial suit. He attacks Archangel, with Evan not sure what's going on, but knows that this is the bad guy. Evan does alright, but ultimately Archangel gains the upper hand. Thankfully, Betsy takes the opportunity to stab Angel with the life seed. As he died, she gives him memories of the life they could have had together. Marriage, kids, growing old, happy together. He dies having lived a full life as a hero. Phantom X gets her away and everyone regroups, but we see Warren naked walking towards them, no longer Archangel. Betsy kisses him, but he wonders who she is as the world explodes in the background. To end the Dark Angel saga. Alright, what do I think of the Dark Angel saga? Let's talk about the writing. Absolutely on point here. So much better than Deathlock Nation. This had some flaws, which I will go over, but really was an action-packed, nicely paced, for being an 8-part story. Had some real emotional weight to some scenes. I'll go the ones I thought were the most impactful. Wolverine got a lot of good emotional scenes, the stuff with his Age of Apocalypse daughter, Karika, who is his and Marika Yoshida's kid. He is shocked when he meets her, and they have this great exchange where he helps her with her wrist tape and hand wraps, and she bluntly asks, "Did you love my mother in your world?" And he says, I loved her to the heavens." She's then killed by Weapon X, and that's when Wolverine loses it, citing, "The daughter I never had lies dead in my arms. Her charred remains dominating my senses." Good stuff for such a minor character. His stuff also with AOA Jean was really emotional, and lots of nice usage of Wolverine's history and alternate history. The ending moments with Betsy using her telepathy to make Angel think he had a full life with her, while super cliche, was very sweet, and the art was changed for it. They made it lighter, rounder, softer in general, to give you this air of a better world for them, a better life they could have had. Beyond that, Rick, he kind of stumbles over himself because you can tell he's such a huge comic fan that he wants to throw all of these things at you, and they often work, but they can often feel clunky. And some of the finer details that I enjoyed, though, were Dark Beast mentioning he hasn't been in the AOA universe in 5,006 days, so about 14 years, which actually tracks as he arrived in 1997 in the 616 universe in Generation X #1. So the timeline actually fits up. That's really nice. The original Famine is here, Autumn Rosfeld. Angel mentions they worked together. Of course, they were Apocalypse's original Horsemen and X-Factor. She had an affair with Apocalypse, giving us Genocide. This is also paralleled with Angel knocking up Pestilence. They show them in bed. Then Dark Beast says it's important to get her away. But I don't believe there's any follow-up to that in the series, so whatever. We see statues in the world of other weapon program entities. So we can't really tell who they are, but two, we see Dr. Mindbubble, who's a Captain America villain, and the Skinless Man, who we will see next week. And as mentioned, Phantom X has sentient bullets made from an evil mutant skin, and that was the Skinless Man's skin, so I guess He was just man then. Inside the Dreaming Celestial, there are busts of previous Apocalypse, of course, En Sabinur, the one we know, Grosville, a Nordic Apocalypse, and at Kelby Tack, a Deviant Apocalypse. We learn about Deadpool's cat, Mr. Krusty Bottoms, and that he had forgotten to leave him food, so he'll probably die, just like Deadpool thinks he's going to. So yeah, the writing was very good. Rick gets a little jumbled in his own excitement, but it comes from a place of wanting to tell an exciting story. So I give him a pass with this one. Also, I was a huge fan of the Age of Apocalypse as a kid, so I marked out hard for that. The art, I have much less to say about the art this week, as it was superb. It really was. It was all consistent. I could barely tell where Mark Brooks started and Jerome Opina ended, and that's a good thing. Everyone was on model, on point. When we got to the Age of Apocalypse stuff, it was really great. The Black Legion in particular had some fun-looking guys. We had Grim Chamber, Iron Ghost, Demon Hawk. There was some Captain America guy, but he was also Venom. All really fun. Honestly, mostly wasted designs, as we don't see them again for the rest of the run. I know there was an Age of Apocalypse comic that came out. I read that, but I don't really remember any of these characters in it. But yeah, art was really helped enhance a lot of the nuance in this story, as there was like 150 fucking characters in it. The part where we see the world and the life seed evolving the town area, like a few million years over a few days, was really beautiful. All this flora and fauna, all these strange new beings, giant eels, humanoids. It was really awesome. That was my favorite part art-wise. So overall, the Dark Angel Saga was pretty damn good. It lacked a little bit of tension, lacked a little bit of cohesion. Like I said, it was a little jumbled in parts. Beyond that, it was a very cool, fun, action-filled story, and you can't really ask for too much more than that from your comics. This is probably the most important part of the Uncanny X-Force comic overall, and was handled with a lot of epic movie-style pacing that it deserved. So yeah, very, very enjoyable. Well, that was part 3 of my Uncanny X-Force retrospective with the Dark Angel Saga. Who is your favorite Horseman of the Apocalypse in any iteration? Let me know down below. Also, head over to my Patreon where you can support this channel for as little as $1. And if you want to do more, I'll review stuff that you want me to. Whatever comic, whatever movie, within reason. Add me on Instagram under Demon Peaks for daily Twin Peaks memes. Don't forget about my podcast, the Dark Peaks Podcast. Finally, subscribe and come back next week. We will look at more X-Force, including Otherworld. This has been the Total Makaya, Master of Minds and Men. Thank you very much, and goodbye.